fact, the Constitution states, and I quote, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against."
Help for small businesses and, for the first time, money for states, cities, and municipalities. The Fed is also creating a municipal liquidity facility with up to $500 million in loans and $35 billion in credit protection to help manage cash flow.
Now, gas prices, folks, are beginning to spike in many states across the country, and the Biden administration has announced that it will actually be proposing a new plan to provide more relief to the millions of Americans that need the stimulus cash. So Democrats have proposed a new stimulus package. It is actually going to help households that are struggling to pay for housing and other bills. Now, Americans have noticed a significant gas price spike, followed by a drop and another spike as well. So while the average price of gas in the country is around $3, according to AAA, that price is much lower than a month ago. But still, we cannot deny the fact that President Biden has to send us stimulus payments due to inflation and the rising cost of living and so many other factors of life. A bigger concern right now might be diesel fuel, which helps power commerce, including many delivery trucks and trains. It brings holiday merchandise to homes and stores. Now, the Georgia governor decided to do this. It extended the suspension of the state's motor fuel tax for another month. The announcement comes this week after 2 executive orders from the governor. He signed the orders that extended the temporary suspension of the state motor fuel tax and extended supply chain state of emergency. This week, a senator has also introduced the Gas Prices Relief Act. So these are not like stimulus payments, though. The legislation and the bill would lower higher gas prices and deliver the much-needed economic relief to residents of New Hampshire. Now, the senator called on Joe Biden to take action to help lower energy costs by releasing oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Recently, Roy Blunt introduced a bipartisan bill to provide tax relief to middle-class homeowners that will permanently extend a tax deduction for homeowners as well. And getting shoppers to spend this holiday season is not going to be easy. A foundation found that around November-December, they expect a rise between 6 and 8% compared to last year. So as of December, everybody, inflation is up 8.2% from a year ago, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That is near a 4-decade high. Economists point to the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, which has also increased 5% from a year ago, as a more apt measure to reflect the rising consumer prices. The outlook comes after the crisis fueled 2 years of exceptional demand during the key holiday shopping season. In 2020, holiday sales rose 8% from the previous year. Last year, holiday sales grew 13.5%, and they totaled around $1 trillion. Now, new data indicates a more challenging holiday season for retailers. A year ago, consumers shopped early and spent more to secure gifts, as stores struggled to keep shelves stocked. However, major retailers, including Walmart, are swimming in extra inventory. One economist even told CNBC that Americans are still eager to spend this holiday season, but have become more cautious. Economists say that they are dipping into savings accounts and turning to credit cards as a way to pay for purchases. That's due to no stimulus payments. That's the problem, folks. Right now, lower and middle income consumers are just under more pressure as grocery, energy, and housing costs just continue to rise. Consumers do plan to spend an average of $832 a month on gifts and holidays such as decorations and food. That's roughly in line with the last 10 years on average. So we can see that President Biden has to do more for the American people and send out stimulus payments before it gets too late, because we realize that the American people are in need of more stimulus payments right now. Plus, bonus stimulus money is being sent out. Nearly $1 billion has been already allocated towards a brand new wave of inflation. That's some good news. And plus, if you paid personal income taxes in the state of Massachusetts and filed your tax return by October, you'll get a percentage of the nearly $3 billion in tax refund stimulus money that the state is already sending out this month.
Thank you. Kamala and Doug, by the way, Doug crisscrossed the country. I think he did. He spent more time making sure that the folks who actually count the votes in these states do it honestly.
And to its credit, it has made progress in paying out claims. But Florida still pays among the lowest level of benefits in the nation. And some who lost jobs like Scott Bedford still can't get any benefits due to the clunky system and the tangle of bureaucracy.
Who says so much of the bill revolves around the most pressing issue of our time, namely, that is not the reality contained in that bill. That's why he says nearly every GOP lawmaker is against it.
Everybody, there are 4 Social Security changes that President Biden has proposed in Congress. Economists say that these changes could strengthen Social Security, and many beneficiaries can expect to receive a huge benefit boost in just a few weeks. Now, here is the most important news that I want you guys to know, because let me tell you, everybody, President Biden and the lawmakers in Congress are making some huge changes for the fourth stimulus check and Social Security benefits as well. Now, Social Security recipients will receive an 8.7% increase in 2023, the largest cost of living adjustment in more than 40 years. The increase will remain about $146 more a month on average for most retirees, but it'll be a few more weeks more before beneficiaries see the change in their checks actually. Now, folks, Social Security recipients will receive an 8.7% increase in 2023. That's the largest COLA ever in more than 40 years. And the increase will mean about $146 more a month on average for most retirees, but it will be a few more weeks before beneficiaries see the change in their checks. The COLA increase goes into effect with December 22 benefits, which will appear in checks sent out in January of next year. Now, the Social Security payments are also made on a rolling basis, and it's all determined by your birthday. But that means that the first check with the increased amount will come on January 11th, January 18th, and the 25th. So, COLA increases are determined by the Consumer Price Index. It shows you the year-over-year price in changes for goods and services, folks, for July, August, and September. The 2023 jump is the largest one-time increase since '81, when benefits rose 11%, and a large boost from the 5.9% increase that took effect this year. Social Security recipients will see a hefty Social Security increase of 8.7%, and that's the largest COLA ever since the 1980s. The first group to see the $146 bump in monthly benefits will be SI recipients, who will get the COLA in December 2022. Now, according to CNET, it's because SI recipients always get their checks on the first of each month. The first of the month in January 2023 falls on a holiday and a weekend, so the checks are sent out on the nearest business day, folks. Now, let's not forget about this. A Social Security COLA is an annual change the government makes to the program each year to help the value of checks keep up with inflation. It's based on the CPI for urban wage earners and clerical workers for the third quarter of each year. The CPIW that the government bases COLAs on is calculated by looking at the prices of a basket of goods that a typical urban wage worker might buy. It actually doesn't provide the best measure of senior spending habits. Some have argued that Social Security COLAs should be calculated just on the CPI index for the elderly, which may also consider a better reflection of the average senior spending, but that's not the case. Since the 90s, the Social Security program revenue comes from the 12.4% payroll taxes on earned income. Money will also continue to be collected as long as Americans keep working. The bad news